Hello, book friends, and welcome back to the channel. Hello, if you are new. My name is Alyssa. I make content about books, all about books, and occasionally I do live stream my Switch play just for S's and G's. If that's something you're into, consider subscribing. Enough of the business. Let's talk about my books. I have been reading less, it seems, throughout the course of the year, which we kind of anticipated because I changed jobs in April. So we kind of knew there would be a shift in how I read, just because my time is being allocated differently now. Um, but that hasn't changed how I pick TBRs, make stacks from which to choose books each month. This is going to be like usual, probably too much. We're going to go with it. I like to make stacks of books because I normally film upstairs in front of my giant bookcase. There are more books that you can't even see in frame, and I have a lot of books. And I like to try to focus myself down because if I don't, I get overwhelmed and then I just only read my Libby holds or I only read like things my friends talk about. And so if I make a pile of books, it at least keeps me minimally accountable. I still stray wildly every month, but it allows me to sort of focus. So that's what I do. That's enough rambling. Let's get into the books, and we're going to start with some things that are kind of must reads. There's just like a random pile next to me, and it's getting a little bit crazy. This is not organized in any way, shape, or form. So I have a few must read books that I have to work on. One is the TBR Lowdown Patreon read, which is the Magician by, oh my God, someone taught me how to pronounce his name and I don't remember. Colum Toibin? Sugar nuts. I totally have said this wrong. But anyway, I had 2 months to read this, last month being one of them, and I have not even picked it up. So that means I have to read this in July. So it's been really hectic for me. I've been trying to balance learning all the things that I have to do for my new job and like all my regular stuff that I've always done before and reworking that into my life. And I haven't been falling off doing Discord engagement over on TBR Lowdown, and I apologize, that's on me. But hopefully, once I get through like August and I'm in my new schedule a little bit more, I will be able to find a new balance in my life. But anyway, so The Magician. Also for TBR Lowdown, our just regular reading. Every other month we pick a book just generally to read. And this month is Sphinx. All of our books for the year are translated. We have 6 translated works by women. This is a groundbreaking narrative. It is an erotic, genderless love story that delves into the nightclubs and cabarets of after hours Paris, exploring the relationships between a nameless narrator and a dancer from America. If you can hear a licking, it's just my dog licking herself, and I'm sorry. We were filming downstairs today because I'm home alone, and I just feel bad for the dogs. I feel like they don't like it when I'm upstairs, so here we are. And then we do have a big summer read for TBR Lowdown. I have TBR Lowdown heavy books this month. Our summer read for TBR Lowdown is Chain Gang All Stars. I've been holding on to this book to read for so long now. I've had an arc of it for so long because when we got our arcs, Naomi and I were like, we're making this our big summer read. So this is our big summer read. We are reading it in July. If you'd like to join us, you can join the Discord. If it's not down below, I'll make sure I put it in there or pin it in a comment or something. You can join the TBR Lowdown Discord and we can discuss this there. I really feel like this will be a book of choice, but I don't know. I'm usually wrong. And then for my Discord, we do a book every month. My Discord is behind a paywall, but basically I have a Patreon and you can pay whatever you want to pay. I think there's like 3 tiers, whatever tier you want to pay, whatever you're comfortable with, and it gets you access to Discord. It's incredibly small. Hopefully it won't be small forever and we can make a nice community over there. But every month we do pick a book, and this month we're making it a little magical and we are reading Wayward. I realized I never told you what Chain Gang All Stars is about, but I feel like you should know by now. But essentially it's about the prison system, and it's set up a little bit like kind of a Hunger Games like battle to like battle for survival, kind of gladiator like setup to earn your freedom. And it's supposed to have like biting commentary on the prison system and prison reform and abolition and all of that. I'm very excited for it. For my Patreon, we are reading Wayward by Amelia Hart, and we just wanted something sort of lighter and more magical and whimsical. It's summer, let's do it. And I've been dying to read this, so I was super excited when it was suggested. And this is following 3 different timelines, and it weaves together the stories of 3 extraordinary women across 5 centuries. It's an astonishing debut and an enthralling novel of female resilience. That's all I really want to know. I love the cover. Also, I need to know, anybody else absolutely disappointed with Book of the Month selections lately? And should I just cancel? Because I haven't gotten books in months, and I'm kind of thinking of just canceling it. For the Booktube Prize, other books I have to read, I have Keiki. Oh my God, I'm definitely saying that wrong. Had this for a really long time. I'm excited that on my list this month was at least one fantasy read, because I have been trying to do better about reading my fantasy books, because I really do enjoy them, but I get so distracted by lit fic that I forget that I have fantasy reads, and then time runs out and I haven't read any. So it sounds like it's supposed to be like an incredibly powerful tale of like female resilience and fighting against kind of a patriarchal society. And I'm really excited for this. And I've heard really good things, and I've had it for quite a while. So it's time. And then also for the Booktube Prize, I have to read 2 books I don't have. One is this book, Take My Hand, which I don't know a lot about. And then the other book is the Geraldine Brooks book, Horse, which I am scared because I feel like it and Glory kind of came into my like worldview around the same time. And we all know I didn't really like Glory. So I'm just hesitant about another book that is about a horse. But I know that there's more to it than that. And then Take My Hand, I don't know what it's about. I feel like it's antebellum South or something with slavery. I'm not sure, but I'll put the cover up. Those are the 2 other books that I have to read for Booktube Prize. I have Horse already on audiobook from Libby, and then I just need to grab a copy of Take My Hand wherever I can find it. I really want to get to a couple books I didn't get to last month. One is The Daughter of Smoke and Fire. I got really distracted, didn't read as much last month as I normally do, so I didn't get to this. So I'm hoping to get to this month. Translation State by Anne Leckie. Still haven't gotten to this. Really want to. Moving it on to July. I did read one of the books Charco Press sent me last month, but I did not read this collection of short stories. So Fresh Dirt from the Grave is back on my list from last month. I have an arc that I agreed to read that I have to have a review in by the 31st, I believe. And it's called Morbidly Yours. It's about a woman who, I believe she's divorced or her husband dies, but somehow she's single again, and she moves her life to Ireland, and she ends up meeting this mortician, I believe he is, and they strike up a romance, and it's a little romantic comedy, and it just sounds nice. Yeah, so it's everything I kind of like have to read this month. And then we have the books that I've already started, and I've already started The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I have not read Hamnet. I do own it. I did find it while I was thrifting once, and I know people really love Hamnet. I started this last night before I like legitimately like passed out. I was so tired yesterday. We were outside all day yesterday, and the sun and the spiked seltzers just made me go very sleepy when we got home. This is about this woman in 1550s Florence, Lucretia, and she's the daughter of one of the daughters of the Grand Duke. She's not exactly the like favorite daughter, and it opens with basically she's going to die, and then you go back to the beginning of her life. And so far, it's been phenomenally well written. I'm only a couple chapters in, like I'm like here, but the writing is just so beautiful, and the language choices, and I really am digging the way Maggie O'Farrell writes. So now this is making me more excited to, one, keep reading this, but two, read Hamnet already. I've heard that Hamnet will make me cry, and I was talking to some friends about how what I really need, because I feel like even though I generally have been enjoying my reading, I don't enjoy it as much as I really want to. I need something that will make me sob on like a Betty level so that I can feel things. That's what I need. I need to feel stuff. So I'm looking for that. but I don't know if this will do it, but maybe Hamnet will. So we'll see. I also started Manhunt, which is a horror story of kind of about murdering turfs, which I guess is a really, really reductive way to boil down this story. But I'm very far into it. I think I listened to like the first chapter of it, and then we left yesterday to do some things, so I didn't pick it back up. But when I'm done filming the things I want to film today, I'm gonna listen to it and clean out the garage a bit. So I'm definitely keen on reading that. I'm really excited for that one. I've been waiting for a long time for that Libby Hold to come in, and it's finally here, and I finally have time to read it. And then other books that I'm working on are Night Shift. I have had this for a while. From somebody sent this to me, I believe. It's a haunting and compelling debut novel of complex female friendship and obsession following one young woman's decision to abandon her normal life and join the otherworldly nocturnal existence of London's night shift workers. I am switching to Night Shift in August, and I, after Shantaram, just desperately want more tales of women. I want more female writers telling me female stories, whether they are dark and twisted horrors or like sort of crazy millennial fiction that's a little bit melodramatic or whatever it is. I am just craving things that speak to me as a woman. So, Night Shift. We took Night Shift off the shelf. It's getting read. I need to finish Anna Karenina. I did agree to finish this with people starting this month. Other people are starting it. I'm finishing it. I'm here. I do remember where I am generally. I may backtrack like a chapter or two just to be like on point with it. But I was really enjoying this. I think I just got distracted somewhere, and that's it. So I don't think I'm going to read this all in July, but I'm going to be taking chunks of it probably by the end of the summer. I would like to have this done because I would like to have actually finished a Tolstoy so that when I say I like Tolstoy, it makes sense that I like Tolstoy and not like I've read 30% of one of his books and been like, yeah, your writing's good. I need to actually finish one. I did finally locate a copy of Letters to a Young Poet, which I snagged with some Pango bucks. I do need to post more books to Pango, so keep an eye on that. In July, I'm going to try to get the rest of my stack up and on there. And then at some point, I have to figure out my schedule so that I can see Naomi and bring whatever doesn't sell down to McKay's, down to Virginia, and just get my money back. Because, well, not really get my money back. You never really get your money back, but you know what I mean. Get some money for them, do some thrifting, all that jazz. Anyway, so this is Rilke's Letters to a Young Poet, which is one of those books that everyone says you kind of have to read before you die. So we're going to read it. I read like the very beginning of one of the letters, and like I think I kind of already get why people love it. I feel like the tone and the philosophizing that's in it is going to speak to me, and I really like that. And then also on my list is something that I think will speak to me as well. And I don't know if this is something that I will finish in July, but I definitely want to get started at some point in the month. And that is Testament of Youth by Vera Brittain. She was a nurse in World War One. This is basically like her diary, her memoir, her reflections on being a nurse during this time. It says in 1915, Vera Brittain abandoned her studies at Oxford to enlist as a nurse in the armed services. Before the war was over, she had served in London, Malta, and close to the Western Front in France, and she had lost all the men she loved. Out of that experience came this cauterizing book, at once a memoir and an elegy of the bright, passionate generation who came of age on the eve of the war and vanished in its trenches. Moving, sweeping, and one of the greatest accounts of war ever written, Testament of Youth captures politics, hopes, and the despair of Britain and her peers. I obviously want to read this because I'm a nurse, but I want to read a woman's perspective on war. I feel like we get so much from men and from whether it's their memoirs or their stories, but also the people writing about a lot of these things are men. And I really would love to see a woman's story, a woman's POV, a woman's take on everything, especially. I think we forget oftentimes in history about the women at the front line, on the front lines, the nurses and the women who pretend to be men to go fight and all those stories. So I'm very excited to read this. I also want to get to The Warden, which is a SFF forum tour that I've had for a little bit, and I'm excited to finally get to it. There was a plan. She had the money, the connections, even the brains. It was simple. Become one of the only female necromancers. That's what it was. It has necromancy. Pass as many certifications as she could. Get a post near the capital, then profit. The funny thing about plans is that they are seldom under your control. That's what it was. There was necromancy. That's why it sold me. Time to get to this. Then I have two books that I would like to get to, but I don't know if I will. One is Ripe because hello, look at that cover. Thank you, Scribner, for sending me this, but holy shnikes, is that not a beautiful cover? And it's blurbed on the front by Carmen Maria Mercado, and I love her writings. It's a surreal novel about a woman in Silicon Valley who must decide how much she's willing to give up for success. I love it. I hope it's a little bit, I just hope it's fun. I hope it's a good time. I'm going to try to get to it. I don't know if I'll make it. And then this I waited forever for, and that is Death Valley by Melissa Broder. I have been eagerly awaiting this arc from Scribner. Scribner sent me so many books in like for 5 weeks. I was getting a book like a week from them, and this was not one of them. And I was like, oh my God, they're not going to send it to me. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get the new Melissa Broder. And then it finally showed up. It was the last round of packages that came from them, and I am so psyched. So if I can get to this month, that would be phenomenal. But if I can't, that's okay. I'll read it in August. But this comes out at the end of September. I really did enjoy the Pisces. I feel like Melissa Broder just writes bizarre women, unhinged women really well. And I really like the way that she writes them. So I'm excited to read this. I don't even know what this is about. I just was like, Melissa Broder. Yes, I would like that arc, please and thank you. A woman arrives alone at a Best Western seeking respite from the emptiness that plagues her. She has fled to the California high desert to escape a cloud of sorrow for both her father in the ICU and a husband whose illness is worsening. What the motel provides, however, is not peace but a path, thanks to the receptionist who recommends a nearby hike. Out on the sun-scorched trail, the woman encounters a towering cactus whose size and shape mean it should not exist in California, yet the cactus is here, with a gash through the side that beckons like a familiar door, so she enters it. What awaits her inside this mystical succulent sets her on a journey at once desolate and rich, hilarious and poignant. She just does weird so well. She really does. She really does weird so beautifully. Oh my God, I didn't realize how short the chapters are too. If I can work this in maybe on my lunch breaks, I'll start reading a chapter or two. So kind of also want to savor it, but yeah, Death Valley. And I'm just so, I did a little dance when it arrived. I was so excited. Anyway, so that is everything that I'm aware of. I'm sure I agreed to buddy read something with someone somewhere that's not on this list, and somebody will remind me in the comments, but this is everything that I can recall that I would like to read, have to read, want to read in July, or at least start to read the rest of the summer. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on any of these if you've read them. If you have recommendations for me based on these books of things I might like too, that I would really dig it if you would drop them in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Bye.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think